Welcome to LatinPerDiem. This is episode 4 of our very short series on Jean-Alphonse Turretin of Geneva, his commentary on Thessalonians of 1739 from the Viewer's Choice feature. I'm going to read through this quite rapidly, both because I read the whole thing last time and in order to economize on our time and practice you in rapid pronunciation. Igitur regnum Christi mediatorium in eum finem institutum, ut felicitatis nostrae, negotium expediretur, ut Christus ea omnia efficeret, quae ad nos servandos ac redimendos conducurent, quo pertinet eius adventus in mundum, praedicatio, mors resurrectio, ascensio in coelum, victoria in hostes eius, denique abolitio, mortis et introductio nostra in vitam aeternam. You may want to test your comprehension by listening to it again, this time with your eyes closed, like this apparently unhappy fellow, to see how many of the words you can pick out with your ears. Therefore, the kingdom of Christ, mediatorial, was established for this reason, so that the business of our happiness might not be impeded, or might be developed, so that Christ might accomplish all of those things which conducurent, which are conducive to our being saved and our being redeemed. Thus far, these ut clauses, to which, and now this quo here in the neuter, singular, and ablative, is summative. It summarizes all of that which comes before, to which relates, pertinet, or pertains. And now Turretin gives us a list of those things which pertinet to this end, namely, adventus in mundum, eius adventus, eius here is Christi, Christ's coming into the world, his preaching, not the preaching about him, but the preaching he did, his death, his resurrection, his ascension in coelum, or in caelum, this is often spelled in a variety of ways, well, these two, in fact, his ascension into heaven, his victory over enemies, his enemies. We now repeat the pronoun from earlier. See this pronoun eius here repeated. Victory over his enemies. And finally, the abolitio mortis. We have seen this word before earlier in the passage. The destruction or abolition, the doing away of death, and our being introduced, our introduction to the concept, the state, the condition of eternal life. Each one of these is a nominative. Adventus, praedicatio, mors, resurrectio, ascensio, victoria, abolitio, and introductio as the subjects of pertinet. Now, all but one of them, namely adventus, is feminine. I don't think that's a coincidence. It's a stylistic choice, but also determined somewhat by the ideas that Turretin is conveying, and that the nouns that convey those ideas best happen to be nominative. It's interesting that pertinet is singular, however, because clearly the subject is compound. And why does he make it singular? It's because he conceives of all of these as part of a united whole. I think that's the best explanation for the apparent discrepancy between the number of the verb and the numbers of subjects, adventus, etc. These ut clauses are purpose clauses, and this purpose clause, efficeret, introduces a relative clause, quae through conducurent. Within the relative clause are these gerundives, servandos and redimendos, with ad to express purpose. We hope you've enjoyed this short series on Turretin. Please send your suggestions to LatinPerDiem@gmail.com for viewer's choice.